Hello everyone and welcome back to another Scootiny. Today I am going to be talking about League of Legends Worlds and how we can work to improve that, make it a bigger and better international competition, and make it this huge month-long event that can be just amazing in so many different ways. And I'm going to be taking a lot of these inspirations from Dota 2's The International. And no, it is not to increase the prize pool to $20 million, nor is it to make the prize pool open funded by other people, which, yes, we can do, but that doesn't increase the skill level of the players in the competition. It just means they win more money. That's something we can do, but that's not the important part here. What I wanted to talk about is how we can use a Dota the International style tournament to make the League of Legends Worlds much more interesting and much more fun, while at the same time improving the global League of Legends skill. Because right now we have two international teams that go, and they kind of suck. So, they might get one win against Alliance and force Alliance out of the tournament. But I'll get to that a little bit later down the road. First, I wanted to talk about the similarities and a little bit of the differences between Dota 2's The International and currently Worlds Riot Worlds setup. So, obvious thing, we both have 16 teams. We both have these group stages, but our group stage is 4 groups of 4, while they have 2 groups of 8. And this distinction is more important because in our group stages, the top 2 teams from each group go on to the bracket stage, whereas in Dota 2, all of the teams in the bracket stage, or all of the teams make it to the bracket stage, and it's just they determine seeding in the group stages. Then the entire Dota 2 tournament takes place over 2 weeks. 2 weeks for so many. It's a double round robin, just like League of Legends in the group stages, and then you have 22 bracket games. All of them are best of 3, and they all take place over the course of 5 days. It's insane. They have 3 different streams to accommodate all of this, and the production value for each stream is still really high. They have 2 side stages, and then the main stage where the premier team of the day will play. And I think that system works out really well, and it works really well for them because their tournament is in the summer. Worlds for Riot is in October, which sucks because we can't have tournament matches during the day because kids are going to be in school, people are going to be at work, and overall, it's not good for Riot, but I'll get to that a little later down the road. My first proposal to make Worlds 2016 or Worlds 2017, if they haven't decided any of this yet, a little bit better, is to increase the team pool from 16 to 20. And here's how we do it. We keep the same 3 teams from NA, 3 teams from EU, 3 teams from Korea, 3 teams from China, 2 teams from the LMS. Now we're already at 14. Then, instead of having 2 international wildcard teams, one from the East and one from the West, we have 1 team from Brazil, 1 team from Turkey, 1 team from Oceania, 1 team from the LJL, 1 team from the CIS region, and 1 team from Southeast Asia. And that will bring our total of teams up to 20. And the reason I say we take one of each of these teams is because having more international teams will make these tournaments bigger and more important for these teams. Because currently, for the international wildcards, we have Brazil, Latin America North, and some other region fighting it out for 1 spot, while over on the other side, we had CIS and Turkey, and I think it was Southeast Asia, fighting for the other spot. In this system, we can have more of these international teams have meaningful seasons and meaningful end of the year tournaments, because it's not going to be, yay, you're first in the LJL, now you have to go try to qualify for Worlds again through this international tournament, which, yes, that first international tournament is good, but it really sucks if you're the team to go all the way and you're like be the best in your region, go to a tournament and maybe lose in like game 5 of the finals against Dark Passage or something. And then you see Dark Passage get smashed at Worlds, and it's like, come on, we could have done better. Why didn't we do better? We should have done better. And it just gives you a sour feeling, and it just doesn't feel good. And I think it would feel better for the players if the end of their season actually meant something. At the end of the summer split, it's whoever wins goes to Worlds. Or maybe it's for more circuit points where they have that playoff bracket like they do in Korea and like we did last season for NA and EU, where you work your way up the ladder and the person with the most circuit points throughout the season is first. So if you get first in both splits, then you're likely the favorite to win and you already have that first seed, so you only have to play one match to try to get that victory to go to Worlds. I think that kind of thing would work a lot better, and it would motivate these teams to play better, to get better. And this is before they even get to the international tournament. It would motivate these teams to basically be the best that they can be, instead of being, okay, now we get to go to this like preliminary Worlds tournament, and if we win here, then we can get our faces smashed in. But with this kind of system, it's all right, we did our best. Now we go to Worlds. We're going to play all of these other teams. We're going to learn a lot from playing all of these other teams. And this kind of segues into what I also propose next, is instead of 4 groups of 4, or in this new case, 5 groups of 4, we make it 2 groups of 10 and have not double round robin play, but best of 2s against each team. So this means there will be 9 matches for each team, all of them best of 2. And the reason they're best of 2 is to simulate that double round robin for red side and blue side. And you don't have to like space out how you prepare for each team. It's all right, we're playing in our match against the Saigon Jokers tomorrow. We have our scouting reports, we have this, we have that. All right, let's sit down, talk about it. What are we going to ban on blue side? What are we going to ban on red side? How are we going to play against this team? And it'll compress how you prepare against each team as well. So that'll be better for all of the teams that are going to this tournament to begin with, like NA. I mean, sure, it won't be the highest level of skill coming out from these other international regions, but it will help them to prepare. All right, this is how we do against Japan. This is how we do it against Brazil. This is how we do it against, Garina or whatever Vietnamese team might have surprised everybody. And overall, it would help these teams to work harder. Now, going back to the international teams, they would want to up their own individual play. I mean, international teams are already getting better. In the last 2 Worlds, a Brazilian team has taken a game off of an NA team or an EU team, and they have been getting better overall. Their matches were not nearly as poor as like the Dark Passage team, to go back to them as an example. And in some cases, their play was even better than like the 3rd seed NA team, or in the case of the past Worlds, you had the Brazilian team beat the 1st seed from NA CLG. So these teams are already on their way up, and putting more of them into these international tournaments will help them and motivate them to get stronger and stronger. Now, I also wanted to suggest a double elimination bracket. And once again, you might be thinking there might be not enough time for all of these matches to take place, but I will address that later. And I say double elimination bracket because more competition and you get better results. Before we get to the double elimination bracket, I'm just saying bottom 4 teams from each group get cut out, so it is a 16-man bracket. 8-man bracket is good and all, but it's really small, and sure, those are the top teams up there, but you have cases of cheese where a team might have to play a final tiebreaker and then get like Heimerdinger jungled or something like that. So having more teams up there automatically gives you a wider pool, and then having double elimination prevents these cheesy strategies. It prevents, all right, maybe you had a really bad day, like you got a call from home and your dog died, so you're really depressed, so you're not playing to your best. So maybe today your team is going to lose because you're tilted off the face of the earth, but now you have another chance to come back, recollect yourself, come back like in 2 days. You're playing against Cloud9. All right, let's go, let's do this. I'm ready. Let's do this. I mean, sure, you might not be able to get over your dog in 2 days, but it's just an example. And it's already being used in other tournaments, like once again Dota 2 the International. It's very prevalent in Super Smash Brothers and other fighting game tournaments. And yes, those are shorter, those are individual players, but the same thing still applies. It's double elimination because there's always the chance of the comeback. You can write a bigger story with someone who loses in the first round of the winner's bracket and then plows their way back through the loser's bracket. If you only have the winner's bracket, then Evil Geniuses does not win the International this past year. They won against the team that beat them in the semifinals, in the grand finals, and what kind of better story is there? You defeated the team that you already got embarrassed by, and now you are world champions, #1. Congratulations. You got your revenge, you got your redemption. That's an amazing story right there. I'm not even a fan of Dota. I don't play Dota 2, and I was watching the International, and I was going insane because Evil Geniuses was winning. I saw pretty colors on the map. I saw Storm Spirit survive the fight, and I'm like, you go, Sumail. Thank God. So you're able to write bigger and better stories with a double elimination bracket. Now, some of your concerns might be, once again, the runtime, the scheduling. Dota 2 takes place in the summer, and they have 3 different streams. So they have all the time in the world to take like analysis, to do all of this setup, all of these shoutcasters, all of this talent to come in, shoutcast all of these different games that are going on all at the same time. And because they all take place in one city, Seattle, it's all at like the same timeline. They start at 9 every morning, end at 9 every night across the 4 days for the group stages. And it works for them. For Riot, however, it takes place in October, so school, work, these people won't be able to watch the games, and Riot sure as hell wants them to watch these games. But you can limit the group stage play to these weekends. We already have Riot making these group stages on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they can do the same thing here on multiple streams. Or what they can do is have the games at night across the entirety of the 2 weeks. So, there are 20 teams playing against each other. You have so many matches to show. You can show one each night across 2 weeks. And that'll mostly fit it. And then you can throw 2 in on the weekends. So it's Monday through Friday, 1 match a day. Saturday, Sunday, 2 matches. Timing, not going to be a problem. If they do want to condense it to the weekends only, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they can get... we already have so much casting talent. Everyone from NA, everyone from EU. Then you have the Oceania casters. Actually, the Chinese and Oceania casters are the same people. But you get my point. We have Doa and Monte Cristo over in Korea. We have all of these people, and if we're doing 3 matches at the same time, you have enough talent to do so. Riot is already preparing themselves to run simultaneous streams for the NA and EU LCS this coming summer. So we know they're already pumping themselves up with the manpower and the production power to do this, so they can take advantage of this and continue pushing themselves into Worlds, make it big, make it better, have these multiple streams go on at once. You don't need 20 people on the analyst desk. You can have Zyrene and Dash just yelling at each other for 10 minutes before we cut to the next game, and divide up the talent between the 2-3 different streams. It's very doable. Another concern that I know a lot of people would have is, more international teams means, oh man, we get more Bangkok Titans games where it's like they just lose at 15 minutes against SK Telecom. Well, yes, we do get that. But we also get more Kaboom games. where there are the chances for the upsets. There are the chances for this Brazilian team to probably go something like 2-4 and get enough points to make it to the bracket stage. Like, how big would that be for Brazil? If they had a team make it to the bracket stage, maybe even get a win off of like the third ranked NALCS team. That would be great for the Brazilian LOL team. That would motivate their players to do better. And it would, like I said earlier, it would overall make the Brazilian LOL team a lot better. I mean, it's the same thing with like any international sport. Like right now, the Olympics, hockey. Well, not right now, but like Olympic hockey. We all know that Canada is probably going to win, but we still root for our own team. It's the same thing with the World Cup. I watched the World Cup. I know America doesn't have a chance of making it out of the top 16 or the quarterfinals or even getting to the quarterfinals, but I still watch them. I still cheer for them. I mean, South Korean soccer team, they're never going to win a World Cup, but they still have fans. People still watch them. People still love them, and it helps them get better because they motivate themselves. I want to get stronger. I want to bring my team further in the tournament. You know, these Korean players will get picked up by people in the Premier League. Then they'll come back over to Korea, help them push up into the World Cup, that kind of thing. So, yes, we will get a lot more games where it's going to be complete blowouts. But we've already had that over the course of the last few worlds, and at this point, it can only help us to get better. You will notice that everything just got really dark and that my head snapped from here to here. Maybe the audio changed a little bit. That's because I'm amending this video. I did the math wrong the first time, and I didn't want to go back and just redo all of that all over again because I don't remember anything I said. So, just to start again, the conclusion for the timeline for Season 6 Worlds, obviously adopting the more Dota 2 style format. If we do 2 groups of 10, that is 90 matches round robin play. Over the course of 2 weeks, it's really tough to pull off. That is 3 or 6 matches per day, remainder 6. So if we divide it into 2 streams, that's 3 matches per day, with the last 6 games being floated around Friday, Saturday, Sunday on the last week. That is not sustainable at all, because that is 6 games per day, 8 hours on the set for 2 weeks straight. We have the manpower to have the casting crew switch out every other day. So 1 day on, 1 day off, 1 day on, 1 day off. But that's 8 hours for the production crew. And they can't switch out every other day. So that's going to be super tough on them, and I would not recommend that. Divided into 3 streams, that's 2 per day, with those last 6 games being floated across the last Saturday and Sunday. That's going to be 4 games per day per stream, so roughly 5 hours. That's a little bit better. And if Riot is willing to divide the cast that much, then that's very doable. We have enough talent, enough shoutcasters that can be divided up amongst the 3 streams. It's less hours per day for them. But once again, production staff. Those are the guys behind the cameras. Those are the guys cleaning the stages and everything. Those are the guys cutting everywhere. We know that we're preparing for 2 stages, 2 streams simultaneously. But do we have enough for 3 simultaneously? And will they be willing to work 5 hours straight a day for 2 weeks? It's going to be tough to call, but I mean, we have the EU staff and then the NA staff. We can combine them and do something like that. But once again, 3 streams, 5 hours a day each, that's better, but it's not the best. What we can do is make the group stages over the course of 3 weeks. Worlds is this huge, big event. It is something amazing that everyone wants to take part of, everyone wants to see. Stretch out the group stages. Play out a little bit longer. The players get a little more rest between each match. The casters, you can stretch them out, give them a little more rest between each match, and going back to the production crew, you can give them a little bit of a rest by giving them every other day off, because we have two crews for the two simultaneous streams in NA, and we're going to have two crews for the two simultaneous streams in EU as well. So, one day on, one day off, one day on, one day off, that kind of thing, for 3 weeks, divided on two streams. That is, once again, 5 hours a day. So you start at 5, end at 10. Just come home from work, crack open a beer, watch League of Legends until you go to sleep. That's perfect for 3 weeks straight. That's perfect. If you want to just sequester it off to weekends like Riot has historically done, no way. No way, Jose. Because that is 15 best of twos per day, which is literally unsustainable. Well, across 6 days. So, across 3 streams, that's 5 best of twos per stream, 10 games. I mean, nobody wants to do that. Everyone remembers how horrible super weeks were and how burnt out those players got and how burnt out everybody got. So we're not going back to that. You stretch it out over the course of the 3 weeks. You have 2 best of twos on each stream per day. That's 4 matches a day. Extremely doable. You have Doa and Monte Cristo on one stream for one day. Then you have Zyrene and Freak on the other stream for that same day. Then tomorrow you have Riv and Kobe on one stream, Jat and Crepo on the other. Then the next day you can even switch in, I'm forgetting his name, but he played for the Copenhagen Wolves and he has that accent that got a lot better. Deficio. You can put in Deficio and Quickshot. And hell, we might even be able to hire back D-Man and Joe Miller. Who knows, man? Maybe we can even throw Shocks on the desk. Let her shoutcast a few games. But, I mean, once again, going back to the Oceanic crew, we can throw Rusty or Pyrotechnics on there. Or, his name escapes me, but he's also the other OPL caster. Super funny guy. Love him a lot. But yeah. Casting talent, we have enough of that. Production squad, obviously we got to give them big Christmas bonuses, and we can also switch them out because we're gonna have enough from NA and EU, and hell, even the OPL. We can fly a few of those guys out. Maybe even get a loan from whatchamacallit, the LCK. Maybe they can give us a few people. Who knows? But 3 weeks, 2 matches a day. 2 different streams, clearly the best option, and that gives people the sense that League of Legends is a huge thing. Next is the bracket stages, and it's all of a sudden going to get really bright again. And anyway, bracket stage would be 22 bracket stage matches over the course of 2 weeks if we wanted to remain with this Riot timeline over the course of the month of October. So over 14 days, we have 22 matches. Now, we can do this one of 2 ways. One of them is, once again, 1 each day, Monday through Thursday. Then we can have 2 on Friday and Sunday, and 3 on Saturday. We can make all of them best of 5s if we really wanted to. You could do best of 5 Monday, starting at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. Assuming this entire tournament takes place on the Eastern Seaboard and everybody can watch it from New York, I mean, barring super weird time zones, if you start it at 7 o'clock for New York City, it'll be done by 1 a.m. Or if you do it in LA and you start it at 5 o'clock in LA, then it starts in New York at 8 o'clock, ends at maybe 2 a.m. if they go the distance, or 3 a.m. if they go the distance, which, some people will fall asleep, some people will stay up, especially if it's a TSM game. I mean, who wouldn't stay up for that? But, continuing on, 2 games on Fridays and Sundays, and then 3 games on Saturdays. I mean, you can start at 10 a.m. local time, run 3 best of 5s in one day. We don't even need the second stream. Now, if you wanted to keep this 2-week timeline and do it only on the weekends, This is where we would need the multiple streams. 22 matches over the course of 6 days is 4 matches a day, which, once again, if you cut it between streams, that's 2 matches every day on 2 different streams. We have the talent pool to do these matches. We have the talent pool to cast them. We have the talent pool to analyze them. We can do that. Sunday, the final day, that would be 2 matches. That would be the losers finals and then the grand finals. The same thing with Dota 2 the International. It's something we can do. Sure, if both games go completely the distance, then the winner of the losers final will be fatigued, and that's something that they will have to work through. If not, then they lose, and then people on Reddit will complain, "Oh, they were tired. You have to give them an extra day." But yeah, it's just going along those same lines. Evil Geniuses did it in the Dota 2 International. Dota 2 International has been doing this for a while now, and it has been wildly successful in a shorter time span than Worlds. Worlds is more expanded. We can even expand the pool of teams, make the international competition better. Heck, yes, we can raise the prize pool, make that open funded, get that up to 50 million. Who knows? You lol people are insane. I know, I play it too. And overall, we can make Worlds this huge event. Like, I don't know where the next Worlds is taking place. I think it might be China or America, because we did it in Korea for season 4, Europe for season 5, so I'm thinking it's gonna be China, which they can do that. They can run a game every night or every day at like 5 p.m. their time. Sure, here in Philadelphia, where I am, I'd have to wake up at 5 a.m. to watch my favorite teams play, but that's completely doable. If they want to keep it to the weekends, then 12-hour time difference, that's still very doable. They can start their games at noon. I just have to go to sleep at 8 p.m., wake up at midnight, and then watch League of Legends until noon. It's all very doable, and if they don't limit themselves and think we can't do it because not everyone will be able to watch it, they'll only be shooting themselves in the foot. Thank you for watching. Please join me on the next Scootiny. Don't know what I'm going to talk about yet, but if you want to follow me on Twitter or Twitch TV, you can click on the links below, and I'll see you next time.